All right, folks, buckle up for a wild ride through history's darkest hits. Because nothing screams fun like diving into humanity's worst moments. Am I right? Let's kick things off with some of the most epic genocides in history. First up, the Falun Gong saga. These folks were just chilling, meditating, and preaching truth and compassion. Basically the yoga bros of the 90s. Sounds wholesome, right? Well, the Chinese Communist Party was like, nah, this smells like a cult. And their solution? Go full supervillain and wipe them out. Picture this. Falun Gong's popularity explodes faster than a viral TikTok dance. The CCP, feeling threatened by all this Zen energy, decides to crank the paranoia to 11. They unleash the media, cops, army, even your nosy neighbor, to paint these meditators as Satan's book club. The result? Torture, jail, and, hold on to your lunch, organ harvesting. Yup. They were snatching organs like it's Black Friday at the body parts store. Reports from 2000 to 2005 say 65,000 Falun Gong followers became unwilling organ donors. Oh, and they got sent to re-education camps for hard labor and brainwashing sessions. Spa day it was not. Next, let's jet over to Haiti, where Jean-Jacques Dessalines, post-Haitian Revolution, decided to go full purge mode on every white dude in sight. Why? Revenge for slavery. Fair motive, but the execution? Yikes. This guy didn't just stop at men, he went after women and kids too, making sure the streets were a literal bloodbath. Jean even did a nationwide tour to ensure his massacre was on schedule. Talk about a micromanager from hell! He forced everyone, including mixed-race folks, to join the killing spree so nobody could point fingers later. Team effort, people! By the end, 5,000 white folks were gone faster than your Wi-Fi during a Zoom call. And get this, Haiti's 1805 Constitution declared everyone black. Talk about flipping the script. If you weren't black and somehow survived, good luck owning a shack. Property rights were not in your future. Next, we're off to New Zealand for the Maori Moriori drama, which is like a family reunion gone horribly wrong. The Moriori were a chill offshoot of the Maori, ditching the mainland to live on Chatham Island with a no violence, just vibes philosophy. Think of them as the ultimate pacifists, probably swapping kale smoothies and talking about world peace. But in 1835, their Maori cousins showed up. And let's just say they didn't bring a fruit basket. These OG Maori rolled in on a hijacked European ship, armed with guns, axes, and, oh yeah, a taste for cannibalism. They straight up ate some of the crew. Five-star dining, right? The Moriori, true to their let's all get along mantra, welcomed these lunatics like they were hosting a barbecue. Big oops. The Maori responded by slaughtering 300 people on the spot, enslaving others, and inventing a ritual so gruesome it'd make Quentin Tarantino blush. They staked women and kids on the beach, leaving them to bleed out for days. Real classy. By 1863, only 101 Moriori were left, and they were forced to marry their invaders to erase their bloodline. Western diseases took care of the rest, with the last pure-blood Moriori checking out in 1933. Moral of the story? Pacifism doesn't always pay. especially when your cousins are packing heat and a side of crazy. Now, let's wrap this up with Cambodia's Khmer Rouge, led by Pol Pot, the guy who thought killing 3 million people was the key to a communist utopia. In 1975, Pol Pot hit the reset button on Cambodia, declaring Year Zero. Translation? Let's pretend the modern world doesn't exist. Civil rights? Canceled. Religion? Banned. Wearing glasses? Congrats, you're an intellectual, and that's a one-way ticket to the afterlife. Because nothing screams equality like executing anyone who looks vaguely book-smart. Cities were emptied and people were herded into killing fields for soul-crushing farm work. Mess up, starve, get shot, or both. Foreign minorities, Chinese, Vietnamese, Muslims, were hunted like it was open season, with 80% of the Muslim population wiped out. By the time Vietnam swooped in to end the madness in 1979, nearly half of Cambodia's 7.5 million people were gone. Pol Pot's grand plan for paradise? More like a masterclass in making everything worse. But wait, we're not done yet! Let's take a detour to China for the Taiping Rebellion, where a guy named Hongzhu Chuen decided he was the literal brother of Jesus Christ. Yeah, you heard that right. This dude thought he was God's +1, sent to reboot China like it's a buggy smartphone. Picture this. It's the mid-1800s. Hong's a failed civil service exam taker who's probably binge-read too many missionary pamphlets. He starts having visions, decides he's Jesus' sibling, and goes, you know what? I'm gonna start a revolution. Hong teams up with his buddy Feng, who's like, bro, your visions are fire! Let's start a cult! They form the God Worshippers Society. Or, let's be real, the Hong Fan Club. Promising equality, shared property, and a drug-free utopia. No tobacco, no alcohol, no fun. Sounds like a blast, right? This pitch somehow attracts millions of famine-stricken peasants, miners, and workers who are like, sure, I'll join the Jesus Bro Club if it means I get to eat. Hong takes this ragtag crew and turns them into a 1 million-strong army, sweeping through China like they're auditioning for an Avengers movie. They capture Nanjing, rename it Taiping Tianguo, because branding is everything, and set up shop like they own the place. Hong's big ideas. Everyone shares everything. Men and women are equal, and anyone who disagrees gets a one-way ticket to the guillotine. Metaphorically, but sometimes literally. Things get spicy when one of Hong's generals, Yang, claims, yo, God told me Hong's gotta go. Big mistake. Hong beheads Yang, slaughters his family, and then, get this, executes the guy who executed Yang because his ego was too big. Hong's all about equality unless you're questioning his divine Wi-Fi connection to God. By 1860, the rebellion tries to take Shanghai but gets smoked by a Western-trained army with a badass name, the Victorious Army. The Qing government, with some French and British backup, surrounds Nanjing and shuts the whole thing down by 1864. The body count? A jaw-dropping 20 to 30 million people. That's like wiping out the entire population of Texas. Twice. Just because some dude thought he was Jesus's little bro. Hong himself refuses to flee during the collapse, unalives himself, and leaves his 15-year-old son to take the fall. Talk about parenting goals. The kid gets executed, and 100,000 of Hong's soldiers choose death over surrender. Commitment level? Off the charts. So there you have it, a whirlwind tour through history's Hall of Shame. From organ-stealing yoga haters to cannibalistic family reunions and a self-proclaimed Jesus sibling. Humanity's got a PhD in screwing things up. And these stories are the proof. If you're still here, you're a champ. So do me a solid and smash that subscribe button like it's the last slice of pizza at a party. We've got more historical tea to spill, and trust me, it's gonna be hotter than a summer in Texas. Don't miss out or you'll be sadder than a Moriori pacifist at a Maori family reunion.